Guys, what's going on? New limited list from Konami, effective today, January 4th, right in the beginning of the new year. For all main events, YCSs, Remote Duel Extravaganzas, this limited list is technically not official, but geez, it might as well be. I mean, a lot of locals have adopted this list. The Speed Duel League and other online events have adopted this list, and Konami has made a couple tweaks to it to kick off the new year. That's going to hit some decks, and we'll go piece by piece as what's changed. The first thing I want to say is that this has not impacted Moth in any way. That's still just crushed to the ground. A lot hasn't changed. There's probably like 5 or 6 changes that are going to impact a couple decks that we're seeing making a splash right now. I'm going to highlight those cards specifically. But if we go through the list, you'll see it's very similar format. We are using the Duel Links fashion where, you know, it's the limited 1, limited 2, limited 3. You can only have 3 of any of these in your deck, for example. And let me go through what was hit. So I did a previous video on the limited list when it came out initially with my thoughts on that. And I'm going to go through what has changed and provide any feedback that may impact some decks, what decks get better, what decks get worse. Okay, so for Limited 1, the only thing that's changed is Nightmare Wheel. Nightmare Wheel was at 2, they put it to 1. This is going to hurt your burn deck, which is great because one of the decks that we're seeing out there is this Twisted Personality, Burn, Stall, Ladybug deck, which I'm actually surprised. One thing is that Ladybug isn't on here. That's a real nuisance in the format right now. But Nightmare Wheel going to 1 is going to hit that in some capacity. I think that the Burn Stall is going to be fine from these hits, but you got Nightmare Wheel down to 1. So it was previously 2, now it's at 1, right up there with Zoma the Spirit. Nightmare Wheel Zoma was kind of the classic duo that we saw all the time before Limited List came in, and now they're both down to 1, so that's nice to see. Limited 2, they put Foolish Burial from 1 to 2. So Foolish Burial was previously in Limited 1, now it's Limited 2. We don't really see Foolish Burial anymore. It was used in XYZ Unions. There's a couple other decks that use it, but not consistent enough. Konami decided to put it up to 2, which is fine. I don't think that's going to have a real impact on the meta. Could be wrong, comment below. That's the only thing that changed for Limited 2. We still have Cocoon, Parasite, the Union Hanger hitting XYZ there, hitting Parasite, Allure Darkness. We really don't see these cards anymore because of this limited list, so there you go with your Limited 2. Although now that Nightmare Wheel is down to Limited 1, you know, when people were picking Limited 2 cards, they were picking the 2 Nightmare Wheel. So now I'm wondering if that kind of opens up, you know, folks to be like, well, shoot, I guess I can't use Nightmare Wheel anymore. What am I going to pick from this, if any? But I really don't think we're going to see people use a lot of these cards, if any of these cards, on the Limited 2 side. And then Limited 3. So we have Breaker, DD Warrior, Lady Book and Moon, Cyclone. These were all here. New additions to Limited 3. First thing I want to mention is that Metaverse is gone. They realized that no one's using Metaverse. Metaverse was used in Magnets and maybe XYZ, but mostly Magnets. And people stopped playing Magnets. So Konami realized, you know, I made a comment the previous time where it's like, it's interesting that they decided Limited 3 that like they thought it was going to be a problem because not really anybody's using it. And Konami realized that as well. So they removed it from the Limited 3 list. Metaverse, which is the card that allows you to get a field spell, is now unlimited. New additions to Limited 3 list is Cyber Dragon. That's going to hit your beatdown. Because now the beatdown players, you know, running 3 Cyber Dragon, 3 Charging Gaia, beatdown having the ability to plus 300 attack all 5-star monsters as a skill, and even the other beatdown deck with the Joey skill, I'm just going to attack, which is the plus 100, and it stops battle traps. But those decks run 3 Cyber Dragon, and now you got to like think about, do I want Cyber Dragon, do I want Book of Moon? Because they'll try and run both. And same with Floodgate Trap Hole. That's a huge hit. They put Floodgate Trap Hole to Limited 3 here, so now you really got to think about it. Triple Floodgate was a menace. It's a menace for a lot of decks that are strong, but there are like 1 or 2 spots in the combo where if you get Floodgated, it's over. Putting Floodgate Trap Hole on this list is a toss-up. I'm not sure if it's going to negatively impact decks that were fine but now are going to become less viable because Floodgate was kind of like their one defense that was going to be really good against some of these annoying decks. But, you know, it is used a lot and it is seen pretty aggressively in some decks, so I can understand the Floodgate to 3. Here's also where I thought Ladybug, Golden Ladybug should be at 3, but they didn't put that here. So we're going to see some Stall Burn flourish here where you got your beatdown deck eliminated. Not eliminated, but it's going to be weakened a little bit with Cyber Dragon at 3. And then the last one they put on, which is Crystal Regeki, which I don't get that one. I don't get that one much. Sorry, Neshi. I don't think Crystal Beast needed to be nerfed. We saw it a couple times. We're seeing it a few times here and there in pockets. People are piloting it pretty well. You know, we'll see some top 8s, some top 4s. But I don't think you had to put Crystal Regeki to 3. This is the Regeki skill. If you got the Crystal Beast in your spell trap zone, you can remove it to eliminate a card or to just pop a card on your opponent's side of the field. So that and Crystal Conclave are the kind of the big cards for the Crystal Beast deck. And putting Crystal Regeki at 3, now all of a sudden you got to think about, well, do I want Regeki? Do I want Book of Moon? Do I want Magic Removal, Floodgates, etc.? So now the Crystal Beast player is kind of thinking about, have to think a little more carefully on what they want to put there, because Crystal Regeki is very strong if you're playing Crystal Beast, but there are some natural flaws of the Crystal Beast deck, as opposed to other decks where Crystal Beast kind of falls flat a little bit and it's kind of roguish. So interesting that they put Crystal Regeki at 3. That's it. That's all the changes. So, it's great that they're still paying enough attention to keep tweaking this. I still think it's weird that it's not like a formal ban list, like just pull the trigger, just rip the Band-Aid off and do it. Currently, technically, it's for YCS events and their Remote Duel extravaganzas, all the Konami official events. However, many local physical card game stores have adopted this list because no one wanted to play against Moth, clearly. And of course, a lot of the online community has adopted this list as well. So for example, the Speed Duel Showdown, which is a tournament that I run every other Monday, that's going to now adhere to this list. So we'll make those changes. We'll see how it impacts the meta. But I'm a little nervous about this TP Ladybug burn. Especially because those are some long games, man. Those are 40-minute games. The beatdowns are fun and fast, and we'll see. But let me know what you guys think below. I don't think there's anything where I'm like jaw-dropping. There's nothing jaw-dropping here. Nightmare Wheel down to 1 was nice. Foolish Burial, whatever. Crystal Regeki, fine. Floodgate and Cyber Dragon, it's a good hit, I think, but like I said, I think it opens up the door for some other annoying decks to be a little stronger and a little more present. We'll see what happens. Let me know below what you think. Happy New Year, guys. More content soon. Love you. See ya.